Hello, and thank you for registering for this enablement session from SAP Partner Service Delivery. The session topic is SAP Business One Starter Package. Please note that the session is being recorded. In the recorded Connect session, your name may be visible to other people who are viewing the recording. If you have any objections, please disconnect at this time. We will have a question and answer session at the end of the presentation. If you experience any problems with the audio during the conference, please press *0 for operator assistance. I will now hand over to Richard Duffy to commence the session.
Great. Thank you very much, Claire. And again, I would also like to add my thanks and my welcome to all of you who are joining us for today's session. It's a pretty exciting thing for certainly for me to be able to present this session to you. I have been working as part of a team here at SAP for the last few months on the whole SAP Business One Starter Package strategy, and this is really the point where, if you like, the rubber meets the road. This is where we really start to see how you, as our partners, really take the solution offering, take it to market, and how our customers accept that solution. We think we've got a pretty good idea that what we've put together is going to be widely accepted in the market, but we look forward to hearing feedback from you, our SAP Business One partners, with any of the feedback that you may have. And of course, this is your first opportunity. At the end of today's session, as Claire mentioned, we will have a Q&A. So let me talk a little bit about the background of the starter package, because as with all good things that we bring to market, we spend quite a bit of time thinking about the strategy. So what is our go-to-market strategy? Well, fundamentally, what we've heard loud and clear from our customers and from a number of you as SAP partners is that people really wanted us to have a more competitive offering for the lower, small and mid-sized enterprise market. So when I talk about the lower, small and mid-sized enterprise market, what am I referring to? Well, really, I'm referring to customers who have a need for a solution, but they only have a requirement to have between 1 to 5 users of that solution. So what we wanted to do was bring to market an offering specifically for those people. So the starter package, when you're looking at it, is only available for up to 5 users. We also wanted to look at what we needed to do to lower the total cost of ownership to make the solution much more attractive to these kinds of customers, because those customers are currently buying solutions that do not require significant amounts of consulting work, do not require significant amounts of support. So we wanted to look at this and say, okay, how can we make this available in such a way and package it in such a way that we met their expectations? I think we've done that. What we also wanted to do was enable you to be in a position where you could offer SAP Business One licenses for those smaller customers who in the past might have had to look at an SAP solution and say, as much as I'd like to be a best-run business and run my business on SAP, I just can't afford the investment required. So the starter package is designed to help you offer licenses for this product at a lower price. And it also enables you to deliver a predefined functional scope that lowers implementation costs. And of course, I'm going to talk about that in more detail, but how do we do that? Fundamentally by delivering a solution that, if you like, is what it is. The functionality that is delivered is the functionality that is available. It cannot be extended through the use of the SDK. However, it is possible for you to use a selection of solution partner, what I like to call complementary solutions. We call them add-ons. I really don't like that expression because add-ons tend to fall off. So I like to think of them as complementary solutions, but it allows you to offer some complementary solutions with the package, as well as, of course, take advantages of things like user-defined fields and formatted searches to deliver a little bit of that functionality to your customers. So how are we supporting you when you take this to market? Well, as we sat down and thought about the strategy, we realized we really needed to provide you a totally new sales strategy and a new methodology, and I'm happy to be able to talk to you about that today. The next thing we also wanted to do was provide you with an optimized implementation strategy. And the local product experts in the global enablement or solution enablement team have been working very, very hard and getting feedback from a number of you on exactly what that needed to look like. Important point to note, I think, is that today's presentation is really just the start. We will be delivering additional sales and pre-sales implementation. We will also be delivering additional product and implementation enablement to help you understand how you can be successful with the SAP Business One Starter Package. But I'm going to give you, if you like, the high-level overview. So the first thing that you need to understand in order to be successful with the SAP Business One Starter Package is you need to understand that this is a limited scope version of the solution. So we've taken the standard SAP Business One application and we have looked at the functionality that we believed needed to be removed from the solution in order to provide an application that was functional, yet at the same time did not require that high level of implementation. So we've removed the functionality which the volume small business customer may not require. What you're looking at here is our functionality grid, which shows you specifically some of the things that are not available with the SAP Business One Starter Package, but are available with the full SAP Business One. And I'm going to talk about the licensing concept shortly. But for example, you can see in the advanced administration, we do not provide the ability for customers to manage their approvals. We do not provide Copy Express, and we do not provide the Business One integration for SAP NetWeaver or B1ISN. Why? Because the feedback that we've received from talking to partners is that functionality is not required in this area of the market. We're certainly providing core financials, but some of the more advanced functionality required in financials, such as cost accounting, budgeting, and fixed assets, are not provided. We're providing sales, purchasing, and inventory functionality. But then when you look at it at the advanced areas of that functionality, such as purchase quotations, which comes as part of version 8.81, which, as you know, is now in general availability, that purchase quotation, pick and pack, and the materials requirements planning, or MRP, are not available as part of the starter package. The service module is not available. And if you look at it, what we've done with the starter package, it is a license type in and of itself. What does that mean? Well, when you buy the starter package, you can only buy starter package licenses, and you can only buy up to 5. That means you cannot combine it with professional users, limited CRM, financial, or logistics users, nor can you use it with the DI server, indirect access users, or the SDK. We do still provide one designer license for Crystal Reports 2008 for SAP Business One, as well as a viewing license for the pre-delivered dashboards that are provided by SAP. And the best news of all, in my humble opinion, is that every SAP Business One starter package user is also licensed to access the SAP Business One mobile application. So they can access that same functionality which we deliver with the full SAP Business One via their iPod Touch, via their iPhone, or via their iPad. So for the very first time, we believe customers in this segment of the market will have access to that kind of rich functionality at a price point which they can afford. There are very few packages on the market, if any, that deliver that today without requiring the customer to go out and make additional investments. With SAP Business One, that's exactly what we're delivering. So what are the target industries for the starter package? Well, fundamentally, we are focused on wholesale, high-value item retail, and light professional services. So you'll notice we are not looking at anything to do with any kind of manufacturing. We're sticking to where we have seen the fundamental, if you like, best fit for SAP Business One is, and really decided to focus on what our strengths are. So, the full pricing will be announced in the next SAP Business One price list update, which you can expect to see around the May timeframe. But what will the product pricing look like? Well, the starter package user has been priced with a lower price point that's going to help support a lower total cost of ownership. So not only are we helping to reduce the cost of implementation, but we're also significantly reducing the product licensing price. Important to note, the user type is technically implemented. What does that mean? The functionality is locked out. So when you allocate the starter package user to a user, they cannot access the functionality that is not available in the grid. And of course, you can go in and you can use the functionality in Business One to apply that authorization to the main menu, and that will then, of course, also remove all of those options from the screen for you. The minimum license requirement for the starter package is 1 user, and the maximum is 5. If you require more than 5 users, then all the starter package users will need to be upgraded to standard Business One users, either limited or professional. And as I mentioned before, you cannot mix the starter licenses or the starter package users with other user types. The advantage of the methodology and the process that we've taken is that if you require to move from the SAP Business One starter package to the full SAP Business One, it's not a problem from a technical perspective. Why? All your customer has to do is speak to you, order the appropriate number of upgrade licenses and additional licenses that they want, and you get a new license key for them, which you apply to their system, and they are now ready to go. No database upgrades, no migrations, nothing like that. All you'll then need to do is configure the additional business processes and functionality that's made available to them. So, what have we done? We've made it easy to get engaged with SAP Business One. We've made it easy for those smaller businesses to become best-run businesses, giving them access to that rich functionality in SAP Business One, and at the same time, we've made it easier for them to get started and to grow. And in fact, the SAP Business One starter package has its heritage in a sales promotion which was known as Start and Grow. So if you're familiar with Start and Grow, what we've done here is we've taken a sales promotion approach and we've turned it into a product offering. So how did we validate that this was the right thing to do? Well, we interviewed partners from all over the world, from every region, from the Latin Americas, from North America, from Europe, Middle East, and Africa, as well as from Asia Pacific. And out of those 19 partners that we interviewed across a wide variety of high volume partners and also partners who are selling lower volumes but higher values, we found that 17 of those partners said that they were very interested. And the feedback we got was that they believed that the fixed scope was going to lower the entry price point and help reduce those those implementation costs. One of our Latin American partners actually said, if we have had this offer from the beginning of SAP Business One, we probably have doubled our customer base from the 100 that they have today to 200 plus. A German partner who traditionally sees there are customers in this market segment who would buy a solution like Lexware made the comment that this is really going to lower the bar for customers who are trying to decide between Lexware and SAP Business One, but in the past might have decided to go for a solution like Lexware and then have to go through that pain later of then completely replacing that system. So if you think about it, one of the core messages for customers who are looking at the starter package is that with the starter package, they can start with the SAP Business One solution and grow very, very quickly and continue to grow and scale. In fact, not only through SAP Business One, but again, they can take those next steps to other products in the SAP SME partner product portfolio as well. So what are we delivering? Just to review, we're delivering an end-to-end approach. For those of you who are engaged in the sales aspect in your businesses, we are providing a sales methodology and an online site which will help support you in selling the SAP Business One Starter Package. For those of you who are involved in implementation, we're delivering localized templates which will be provided as an example to you to help you fast-track those implementations. And it's important to note, with those templates, you will be able to take those and you will be able to extend them to add your own level of value to the implementation process. I'm going to come back and talk about some of the challenges that you may face as you do that in a second. Then from a support perspective, what are we doing? We are utilizing the regular SAP maintenance process, the regular SAP maintenance fee structure, and we're utilizing all of the existing infrastructure that is in place today that you're familiar with, the online ordering, everything that's under the Partner Edge program, and so forth. So let's drop back for a second and let's talk about the sales methodology and the sales approach. Well, what we have decided is that in order, or what we've decided, but what you have told us, is that in order to really be effective with this solution and to build a profitable business utilizing the starter package, we really needed to make it easy for your customers or your prospective customers to do a lot of self-service. What do I mean by that? Well, we really wanted to give them the ability to self-qualify, self-demonstrate, and then be able to make that decision with minimal interaction with you as a partner. Fundamentally, the idea behind this is the partner will come to a website, learn everything they need to know about the SAP Business One Starter Package, view demonstrations of all the key functionality that's made available in the starter package, and then all they need to do is reach out to you to have a discussion about the implementation process, the implementation costs, and then they can place an order with you. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things which we've done with the website that we're making available so that you can then take advantage of that website. So the sales campaign that sits behind the SAP Business One Starter Package, which will be available to you next week, is based around this concept, or if you like, this core marketing positioning message that you do not have to recover from a great start. And with SAP Business One, that's exactly what a smaller customer is going to get. We have some online resources, and at the moment these resources are still being finalized. So with the product going on sale around the midpoint of May, where you can order it from the new price list, we will be 100% ready to help you go to market with these offerings. So the global website, which I'm going to show you in a second, is at www.getagreatstart.com. So again, we're focusing on that theme with the starter package, that it's all about getting that great start. There is a Facebook page, which once we launch that and we have a few more people who hit the like button, we will have that registered at facebook.com/getagreatstart. There will also be a YouTube channel where all of the videos that are provided to demonstrate the solution will be able to be searched on and consumed by prospective customers and customers of the starter package alike. So what are we doing with this? Well, I think the best way to explain it to you is to give you a demonstration so you can see for yourself exactly how this will work. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch across to the SAP Business One Starter Package site right now. So hopefully you are now able to see that, and if you are not, I'm sure somebody will put up their hand and let me know. So I'm assuming that you can now see this. So this is the SAP Business One Starter Package website. And fundamentally what we're focused on is making the entire experience very easy, very friendly, and importantly, very social. What do I mean by very social? Well, we want to take advantage of the latest tools and the latest trends in social media to make it possible for customers to interact and potential customers to interact with each other and with us as they look at the SAP Business One Starter Package. We're keeping this as simple as possible. One of the things that we have seen very, very clearly, and what best practice in web design is telling us today, that what customers want is they want to be able to get to their core information quickly with a minimum number of clicks. So we know that the core things that customers want to learn about when they're looking at a new solution is they want to understand first and foremost the functionality that's available in the solution. They then want to understand what's involved in the implementation process. They then want to know exactly what is available when it comes to support. How does the support process work and what support can they expect? And then once they understand those things, they want to get a demonstration of that functionality. So that's exactly how we built the website, with these core, if you like, in this area in the middle, this multimedia slider, which gives them the ability to quickly and easily choose which of those areas they want to look at. But of course, they can also go down the bottom here and they can click on one of these buttons here. And these have been designed in order to draw their attention by using these SAP branding approved colors to draw their attention quickly to these options. So they can learn about the starter package, they can learn about the implementation process, and they can learn quickly about the support options. In addition, they're also able to click up on any one of these sliders when it's active on the screen and look at what the solution has to offer. If they want to drill down into more detail, very, very quickly and easily, they can come up here to the menu. And you'll see when we look at the solution, we're breaking the information up into these core areas using the kind of terminology that small business customers know and are familiar with. So accounting and financials, sales and customers, purchasing and operations, reporting and administration, and then we also talk about the solution reliability and performance. When a customer wants to understand what happens in the implementation process, well, there are 4 components to the implementation process and what we will provide to you as partners. We provide a solution map, which explains what functionality is available in the solution itself. We provide predefined work packages, which make it easy for you as a partner to deploy the solution and allocate work to either your people or your customers' people. There is implementation plan, which lays out the steps involved in putting the SAP Business One Starter Package into place. And most importantly, we are providing pre-configured content, which allows you to get a customer from zero to hero, if you like, as quickly as possible. Then we go to demonstration. So you can see I've broken the demonstration up into a number of these key areas. An introduction to the starter package. We look at working with the SAP Business One solution, where we give an overview of the user interface and the core look and feel of the solution. We then start and progress through in a logical fashion, from managing your business partners through to managing your customer relationships, managing inventory, raising sales orders and invoicing, right through to having a discussion and talking with the prospective customer about how they extend the SAP Business One Starter Package. How do they take that next step and move up to the full SAP Business One solution? On the website, we're also providing a blog, a frequently asked questions area where we will provide as much information as possible, and as questions come through from you as partners in the sales process, I would certainly appreciate you passing those questions through so we can put those commonly asked questions up here along with the answers. Over time, we will also start to build this community area where we will start to share additional information that will be of interest to the kinds of customers who will be buying the SAP Business One Starter Package. Then, of course, They will have, people who visit the site will have the option to sign up for a starter package and small business focused newsletter, which will be published once a month. In addition to that, they can also quickly jump to the Facebook page. They can follow the starter package on Twitter. They can view the starter package website on YouTube, or of course, they can access the starter package area on LinkedIn. So social media is one thing which we hear loud and clear that small business customers are becoming more and more focused on and want to understand how they can use that in their business. So we'll be placing a lot of emphasis on helping them understand that as they go through the process of using the starter package and going through the process of interacting with other people in the community. So when we look at the demonstration, for example, how will this work? Well, fundamentally, they will pick the functionality that they want to look at. For example, I want a demonstration of managing my business partners. So I can look at the demonstration area and I can see a particular piece of information, some content explaining what the Great Start package is about, or I can then click on the Managing Your Business Partners demonstration. So what happens here? Fundamentally, this is presenting to them as if they were sitting behind their desk watching a presentation. And once the site is finished, and you'll see that little copyright mark will be removed, but our presenter, which is yours truly, Richard Duffy, will pop up and explain how the demonstration works. So I'm going to stop for a second so you can see exactly how this will work. So I take them through an example.
You then know exactly what you need to do to use that same functionality with a supplier.
So there will be an introduction which is delivered in this fashion. So I'm just going to pause that for a second, which of course they will be able to do, to pause and restart that. Then once they've had the introduction, the demonstration itself will play across here in the projection screen. They can then take that up to full screen, and then at the end of the demonstration, I will reappear and explain to them what they've seen. Now, if that sounds familiar to you, that's because it's based on what we teach in our pre-sales approach, which is a demonstration approach known as tell, show, tell. So we explain what they're about to see, set the stage, give them the demonstration of the functionality, then come back and explain what it was that they saw. So that's how that demonstration process will work. Now, this entire website is built utilizing a package which, if you've heard me talking at all about social media and website design and digital marketing, you would have heard me talk about WordPress. This entire site is built with WordPress. What does this mean? Well, fundamentally, we'll be able to package up this entire site and we will hand it across to you as a complete package, which, assuming your web host or your web server can handle WordPress, you will be able to take the entire website, drop it into your site, and build your own version of the starter package, Get a Great Start site. So again, the idea behind this is to make it as easy as possible for you to take the solution to market. The idea here being that your prospective customers will be able to see everything they need to, hopefully, without you even having to do a single demonstration and incurring the cost of sales in doing that. Why? Because they'll be able to see it on the web. In the first instance, this is all being made available in English, and over time, depending on the response we get to the starter package and this approach, we will then look at either A, working with you to do translation, or looking at getting translation done ourselves. But of course, as soon as we give you the package, you can now then take this site and continue to enhance, extend it, and so on. So let's go back to our presentation then. That's the sales and the pre-sales approach. So you can incorporate it into your website. You can get leads to your website We're providing the online resources which will inform people that you suspect may be interested in the SAP Business One Starter Package and have them qualify themselves. So it's really about helping you focus on selling with a minimal on-site demonstration. And if you are so inclined, you could even potentially just plug in a storefront to give your prospective customers the ability to purchase online, both licenses and, if you wanted to build a fixed price implementation approach, which is what we're recommending that you should consider looking at. Why? Because the functionality delivered is the functionality available. No more, no less. So that makes it very, very easy for you to then look at what is required in terms of building that fixed price, fixed scope implementation. So let's talk about that for a second. In the implementation, again, as I said, we're looking at this idea of fixed scope. So what are we providing? We're providing example template materials that are ready for you to use from day one. A solution map and a scope list. The work package definition, which explains what is involved in that work package to implement the business partner functionality. What do you need to do? What are the steps involved in doing that? And then a corresponding project plan, which details the steps in the implementation and the activities that need to be completed in order to complete that step. The local product expert team, working with a number of partners, have also gone ahead and they're also building those template databases in the supported localizations. Then from a collaboration perspective, the local product expert team will also be available to work with you if you want to focus on this to adapt the package to your specific partner needs, to implement it within your own organization. And all that activity will start in the second half of April with your local product expert. So if you're sitting here thinking this sounds like something that you want to get involved in, then you should start to reach out to your channel manager first and foremost and say you believe that the starter package is right for you. And then we will continue that engagement process, introduce you to the package, get the local product expert to start talking with you about exactly what's involved, potentially running some on-site workshops in some locations, but fundamentally delivering a lot of this content through e-learning and through sessions just like the one that you're participating in today. So from a support perspective, again, we talk about this with pre-packaged implementation, with predefined scope in the product. So one of the things that you also need to do is consider what does your support package need to look like? Because as traditionally offered with standard SAP Business One, SAP provides you with level 3 support and your responsibility is to deliver level 1 and level 2 support. So you need to define what your support strategy is, what's in, what's out. Also, when you're thinking about your consulting strategy, what's in, what's out. What are we going to do? What are we not going to do? And again, in those packages that I talked about before that the local product expert team are building, they're also building demonstration, well, not actually demonstrations per se, but if you like, recorded sessions that enable a customer to be able to click on that session to see how do they create a business partner, how do they set up the business partner groups, and so on. So again, the idea behind this is to make it as easy and as self-service based as possible. So that's everything about the offering as it stands today. Let's now talk for a second about what we believe and what we've heard from other partners just like you are the advantages. Well, first and foremost, we've heard that this really gives you the ability to potentially be more profitable on smaller deals. Why? Well, first and foremost, you're reducing your cost of sales. There are no long discussions to be had and toing and froing with prospects talking about what will the scope need to be. Will the scope creep? Do I need to cut it back? Do I need to include this, not include that? Do I come up with a price and then the customer says I can't afford that, I need to cut that back, I need to adjust this, I need to adjust that. So those long discussions are now gone. What does that then mean for you from a resourcing perspective? Well, it means that you can now have junior sales and implementation consultants brought on board in your team that can then use the starter package to focus on small customers with a limited scope and a fixed implementation process that allows them, if you like, to cut their teeth on low-risk implementations and then be able to build up the skills over time to enable you to then move them onto a full SAP Business One implementation or a full SAP Business One sales cycle if they're a salesperson. And for those of you who are Master VARs, the starter package is a great offering to take out to market in order to help you build your extended business member channel. The next thing that the starter package offers is it offers you the ability to build a bigger installed base. This gives you a greater opportunity for future upsells. You're now in a position where you can capture a customer earlier in their life cycle, and you can then stay with them over time as they grow and you provide additional services. Now, what is important here as you think about this, it's important to have services at every stage of the customer life cycle. So you need to give that some thought. But again, over time, we'll be spending more time talking with you about some of these things. And of course, this is one of the topics I talk about in my marketing training when we talk about packaging your business. So again, I would encourage you, a little bit off topic here, but if you have the opportunity to attend one of the SAP Partner Marketing Catalyst sessions, I'm going to teach you some very specific things you can do and refer back to the starter package as an example of how you can do those things. So, it's also a great foundation for setting up an efficient support organization and setting up a self-funding support organization. It gives you great advantage in going after a new market space where you can potentially go in and now beat the competition in that lower SME market. But at the same time, you're able to leverage your existing infrastructure and know-how. By utilizing fixed scope and fixed price, you're able to deliver higher customer satisfaction. Making a guarantee on what you're going to deliver is easy, and then delivering it is easier and less risk. And this then leads you to be in a situation where you've got better resource planning, which is important, as I'm sure you know, when you're thinking about utilizing your expensive consulting resources effectively. So what's the next steps with the SAP Business One Starter Package? We've now talked to you today about the theory, the concept, the strategy behind the SAP Business One Starter Package. So we're now working on doing further localization of those packages, those implementation packages. And your local product experts in your countries are now working as a team on pulling that information together and delivering those local packages. Localizing the solution map and the scope list. Localizing and translating the work package definitions. Localizing and translating the project plans, and building those localized template databases for you to start. So they're also now starting to engage in that collaboration process that I talked about. That those of you who want to focus on the starter package, and they're now adapting the package, are then going to be able to work with you to help you adapt the package to your needs. So, how do you get a great start with the SAP Business One Starter Package? Start thinking about these areas. Start thinking about whether or not it makes sense for you to do that. Next week, there will be additional sales enablement materials being made available to you. So keep an eye on the channel partner portal for that. And also, if you want to keep up with what's happening in the world of the starter package, I've created a hashtag on Twitter that you can follow. And that is #GetAGreatStart. So for those of you on Twitter, follow that hashtag. You'll get to hear the latest and greatest information on the starter package. You can also follow #SAPB1, and you can keep up to date with what's happening there. By far and away, that's the best, the quickest and easiest way to capture the news about the starter package as soon as it happens. We're planning to make the starter package available for you to sell with the next price list update on May the 15th. That is our planned date. So use that as your major milestone to think about how you're going to engage with the starter package. So with that brings the formal part of this presentation to a close. And what I'd like to do now is hand back across to our host, and we will now open the floor for Q&As.